What's going on, guys? Going to do a quick update on SoFi. Should be a pretty quick video, but basically down 5.5% today. Looking for a little bit more blood on this name as the overall market pulls back. As you can see, IWM did make new highs last week, and since then is rejecting, and looks like it wants to head lower. So this should pull SoFi down, as well as SPY and QQQ. Everything kind of looks a little bit bearish. We do have CPI this week, which could go either way. It could pump or dump the market. But I'm honestly hoping that we get a little bit more blood on SoFi because I do want to get back in this name. I've been very patient on it. The chart has looked bearish, so I've just been letting it kind of come to my buy zone. No rush on this. I think this yellow zone and trend line will be touched again, and that's where I'm going to start accumulating some shares for the long term. And then if this green zone touches, like with an overall market pullback, this is where I would buy those March or further calls, because March would be the next time they could be included in the S&P 500. A couple other things. This gap is almost filled on SoFi. So that gap will officially be filled at 25.43. And then we'll see how it reacts once that's filled, if we keep trending lower or if it fills and pops. As far as flow goes, it's a little bit more bearish on the put side here for this year to end the year. You are seeing some like June calls and buyers step in for 2028 and so on. But it's short term, just a little bit bearish right now on SoFi. One thing I did want to point out on Twitter is that SoFi is the same price that it was in 2021, except for a good company, SoFi isn't adding much shareholder value, and there's a lot more dilution. It's just something to note and consider, but I still think that SoFi next year will be hitting that $40 price target. I do think it's still a good company, just needed to cool off a little bit after an incredible 2025, and so we're just remaining patient on it. And then just reviewing the day, on Friday I did talk about Tsla, and I swung one call. So I called this out in the diamond chat, and that one went crazy, gapped up, and just ran today. So sold this. Tsla pulled back, but I still expect it to hit 500 pretty soon here. It's looking great, but I just wanted to lock in my gains. I scalped a few SPX calls and puts, and then I recently made a video. Someone requested AMD, and this is pretty much playing out to a T. I unfortunately didn't short this, but it's looking really good to fill that gap. And then you might want to go long on AMD after this gap fills. So that's another one that I'm watching. If the market continues to pull back, I think it could be a good dip buy opportunity. I don't think it's going to fill that news gap from the AI announcement, but it could continue to come down a little bit, maybe even test that 200 mark. Could be a solid one. But yeah, Tesla's playing out. The flow was great. A lot of dip buys on Tsla, and it's breaking out. So just looking for that retest on Tsla. If you wanted to check that out, it looks something like this. So if Tsla wants to pull back with the overall market and fill this gap, that is a place where you could look to get long again. As long as it holds this trend line, it would be something like that. So look for it to bounce there, and then you could get long, maybe January calls, and play it from there. But that's pretty much what I have. Market's in kind of an odd spot right now. I'm not too bearish on it, but I'm also not bullish. Just kind of playing what the day gives us and what the flow gives us. Like I said, we have CPI this week. We'll see how that goes. But really just going to be banking on following the whales, and that's pretty much what I have. So please like and subscribe, and have a good one.